Shall we begin?
This is LiveSpeak with hosts Justin Gilson, Alan Quant, and John Rainey. We're bringing you tech news, gadget reviews, Kickstarter investment strategies, and anything we want to discuss with you. Stick around, it's going to be a great show.
On LiveSpeak Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to LiveSpeak Radio. It is September 7th, 2014. With me, as always, is Alan Quant from thedigitalcraft.com. Alan, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah? Did you hear about this DNA test thing that came out about Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, he's not my son.
Well, that'll let you down a little better then, I guess. You don't have to worry about it.
I was holding all that guilt.
Yeah, that's a long, tormented life. I'm glad you figured that out. It's a
no, actually, I did not hear about this.
It's actually DNA tests. They said prove that Jack the Ripper was a Polish immigrant named Aaron Kosminski. I didn't know people were still.
He was in the same heritage as me, though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who decided to research this or why. But it was in the news all of a sudden that they had figured out who this guy was. It was a hairdresser, apparently. No. Yeah, believe it, a hairdresser. He moved to England with his family in 1881 and, of course, was committed to a mental asylum.
I just started going to a barber shop. I'm not going anymore.
I wouldn't.
I'm scared. I wouldn't.
They're all crazy.
He's always got a blade in his hand. I don't like it.
Yeah, see, I don't trust that.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. They said that the first strand of DNA showed a 99.2% match for this Aaron Kosminski. It's just interesting that money is being spent to research things like this. Like, I mean, does it make any better finding out who he really was?
I think so.
I guess for the victims, I don't know. And for you, since you know it's not your son anymore.
Right.
That's good. Because if he was, you'd be like 300 years old.
Yes. I am.
Oh, Jack the Ripper. Way to start a show, right? We could talk about Windows 9, like we've been talking about. Apparently, they might be revealed a lot sooner than we thought. Like, in the next month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, September 30th.
Oh, wait. The released or just photos of it?
Released.
What'd you just say?
Yeah, Windows 9. Completely released to the public on September 30th. That's kind of crazy. That's a really fast release for Windows.
That really is going to it tells us how good it's going to be.
Yeah, it tells us it's going to be Windows 8 with our start button that we've wanted.
Right. Or not, probably.
Or not. Actually, I did read that wasn't going to be the case. The start button is going to be a Windows 8 start button. So when you click, you'll get the little menu, but it's going to bring up the Metro screen in a smaller window.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid, isn't it?
Yeah. So now you can be really annoyed with a small little Windows 8.
I don't think they get it. We don't want it. No matter where you put it, make it smaller, make it bigger. We don't want the thing.
We don't want it. Back. I don't know who they're listening to. I mean, clearly, all of the customers do not want it. I mean, not all of them. There are some that want it for the mobile, and I've seen that's what they're really going for. Again, is trying to get that the Surface Pro. And their mobile applications going.
I watched a really bad review on the Surface, and I was disappointed because I've been drooling over them.
Oh, they said it was bad, huh? I haven't actually used one or really looked at any reviews.
It was a half and half. There was a lot of good points to it, but and of course now that we're talking about it, I can't think of what he said. But he seems like a very opinionated person, though, so who knows? I was curious about the stylus and how that worked, but he said he has nothing to do with arts, so he didn't even try it.
Oh, well, good review.
Right. But, let me try and think of what he was talking about. I know there are some neat qualities of it. They adapted the have you seen the magnetic plug on the Apples?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty neat. I like that. They've adapted that idea, and it's reversible, so you can, flip it around if it's going to inconvenience you if you turn your tablet upside down.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
The screen. Oh, that's one of the things he said wasn't very good, but I don't know if I really care. But it's got that extreme resolution, that like 2500 something by 14.
Oh yeah, the nearly
40,
4K or whatever it is. Yeah.
Right, and but he said that the font scaling and stuff on Windows is still crap, so it looks really crappy when you've got it at full resolution, I guess. So that's kind of dumb.
Well, you could go with that and then buy one of Dell's new 27-inch 5K monitors.
Yeah, right.
They're doing it's a 5120 by 2880 monitor resolution. So they just skipped right over the 4K and said, we're just going to do 5K.
Yeah.
That's
nobody
crazy.
likes number 4.
We've talked about that a lot. And if you stream something that's 5K resolution, holy crap, you better have unlimited data. You better have unlimited
and you better
internet.
have the capabilities to do that. I was just talking to my father about Chromecast and showing him how I've got it set up in the kids' room. And he was talking about how he's really struggling when he watches Netflix. He'll plug it in his little. He's got a little netbook, and he plugs it into his TV, and he says it just skips, and there's a lag on the audio. It's out of sync.
Mm-hmm.
That's because he's using a netbook.
Yeah,
it told him to turn off the HD whenever possible, but that's going to be the other thing with the 4K is you got to have a machine that can actually handle it.
Yep, you're gonna have to buy new 4K TVs and
your router's got to be good enough to send that, right? So,
and your internet. I mean, to get that. So, with this whole net neutrality thing up in the air, whether or not Comcast is going to, or any of the providers are going to raise their prices for that reason, I guess we'll find out. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh yeah, that's going to put it all into a whole new tier.
Yeah,
that whole 250,000 gigabytes, or not 250,000, 200. What is it? 250 gigabytes
per month
type of thing. That's not going to work.
No. Mm-mm. I
just realized I've had my oven on for 2 days.
Your oven? Oh, your place is still there, huh?
Yes, it is.
Are you one of those people that stores your pots and pans and your lids and stuff in your oven?
Okay. I've never understood that idea.
I used to put them under. There's the little broiler drawer, and I always put lids and stuff in there, but I remember a friend's house. I went to there and I was going to cook. I was trying to impress some girl. It's like, yeah, I'll cook you something. I preheat the oven and I'm, prepping everything. And I'm like, what is that burning smell? Open up the oven and it's like, 400 degrees. So I open the oven. I'm like, crap. And there's the stuff in there smoking because it has grease or something on it. So I pull them out and it burnt me through the pot holders. So I always check now. It doesn't make sense to store stuff. It's like putting a bunch of stuff in your microwave.
Yeah, it's not a good plan.
No, build the shelf. Make a cabinet.
Especially when you leave your oven on for 3 days or whatever I just did. Not good. Not good at all.
You should try living in a trailer. Have some propane. You'll be out of that in a day.
Yeah, luckily I don't pay for the gas here, and it's not electric, so...
Wow, that's dangerous. Gas running all the time?
Oh, yeah. Just
lucky.
Flowing through.
That's crazy. So, now that we're talking about ovens...
No, this is an oven show.
Oh, I remember I was going to tell you, too, that with Windows 9, and the reason I was talking about them going with the Surface and trying to make it more towards mobile like they have been trying to, is because they're working on Office Gemini.
What is that, Justin?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that, Alan. Well, I'm going to tell you. Basically, it's just Office, but a cloud version for tablets. It's a mobile version. Looks
so is this
same.
Replacing 365?
I don't know.
Or are they seriously making another version?
Probably making another one. Have you ever gone to office.microsoft.com? They have literally, if you want to try and pick out which office you want, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Because you have
I went
2013.
the other day, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yep.
365, 2013, home and professional, just doesn't end. So I'm expecting them just to add it on to their list of software.
I get this feeling like they have the people working from them are like a generation older than the people working at every other company.
Yes.
They're just very, very behind.
And set in their ways, too.
Yes.
No adapting, no nothing. I mean, they took the CEO from Nokia, a company that bombed, and brought him over to theirs, to Microsoft, and said, hey, make us work. Who made that decision?
That's because the guy from BlackBerry wasn't available.
Probably. I mean, it's unreal. They'll figure it out. I'm curious. We've seen some pictures, and there's been some leaked photos of Windows 9, and it looks just like Windows 8. I mean, they're not going to do anything different, except they said that they're going to make it now optional to either boot to your desktop, the regular Windows desktop, or the Metro. So they finally have given you the option to do that in Windows 9.
Which, that sounds like such an in-depth thing, but really that's like a 5-minute fix on their end, it's...
Well, for us, we've been doing it. We've installed things like Start 8, the new Start menu from Start 8, Stardock, sorry, or the classic shell Start menu, which they all have the option to allow you to start and boot up to your desktop, so you can just skip all the Metro stuff.
Right.
And that's free. You can actually get classic shell. They have that now on Ninite's website. In there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
They give it. It seems to come with a lot of computers. It came with the new laptop I got at work.
Did it?
Sure did.
I remember seeing something that Microsoft was angry at Classic Shell, and they wanted them to make it look less like an official Windows Start menu.
Oh, and it doesn't. It doesn't at all. And that's actually why I uninstalled it and put on Start 8. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't like it at all.
And of course, now they have all these skins and different things you can put on them. And I don't know. I like the Start 8. I like a lot of the Stardock products. If you want your Windows 8 to run like a Windows 7 machine, Stardock has, a lot of stuff that modern mix, which you can actually makes everything run in desktop mode. There's Fences that organizes your whole desktop. You use that, right? Fences?
I sure do.
That's fantastic. So
there's ways. Definitely made my desktop look cleaner, but it also means I save even more crap to my desktop because I don't have to see it, so it just becomes convenient.
I am one of those people that when I'm doing stuff on the computer, I quickly save stuff to the desktop so I can use it really fast, and then I just forget and leave it there. And before I know it, the rest of the computer, my desktop is just full of icons. It takes me like a day to clean it up.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Well, let's take a quick break, let our sponsors do their thing, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more tech news, Windows 9, maybe some celebrity photo leaks, stuff like that. So we'll be back here on LiveSpeak Radio.
We look at boots the way beer enthusiasts looked at beer back in the 80s. You have two choices. You can go with one of the big corporate mammoths and get a mass-produced mediocre product, or splurge for the fancy imported stuff, but pay a small fortune for it. That's why we founded Boston Boot. To make a boot for the average guy, but not in an average way. We're doing for boots what fellow Bostonians did for beer when they opened some of the first microbreweries. We're making it the right way, in smaller batches, with obsessive attention to quality in every minute detail. We're opening a micro-shoery, and we have the experience to pull it off. That's Chad Gombis, our designer. He has spent decades designing footwear for some of the world's top brands, arming him with the knowledge to craft a boot that combines its rugged support with the comfort of an athletic shoe. That's me, Joe Pruitt. I've been in the business for years. We weren't going to settle when it came to picking materials, so we went with leather from the century-old Horween Leather Company in Chicago. They're the people who provide leather for the top shoemakers in the world. This is Joe Lyons. He's here to help us work our magic and hustles every day to keep this company small so we can keep thinking big. And this is Boston. Boston is our home and our inspiration. We want our boot to be like our city, classic in its beauty and edgy in its innovation, which is why our boots have a timeless style, yet are designed differently than any other boot out there. And of course, just like Bostonians, our boots are ready for whatever Mother Nature dishes out. The only thing missing is you. We've come a long way to craft a boot that's worthy of our city's name, and with your support, we'll be able to fund the molds and materials needed to make our first production run. We're Boston Boot, and we're asking you to walk proud with us.
You are listening to John, Justin, and Alan on LiveSpeak Radio.
Warning, this show can be freaky.
Your favorite DJ.
You've been warned.
Welcome back, everybody, to LiveSpeak Radio. For the break, we were talking about Windows 9 and ovens. So, welcome to our oven show for the week.
Yes, this is a cooking show.
It is. And today, Alan will be making, what are you making? Sushi?
That is not a fun thing to make, actually.
That's why I don't try and make it. And I don't really eat it, so.
Yeah. Well, it's not that hard, but I've never been able to get my rice to be the right amount of sticky. So they just fall apart.
There is some kind of trick to that, and
there is.
I don't know what it is. Maybe people know. But I ran across this app that I found that is kind of interesting. I don't know how well it's going to work or how people will feel about it, but it's called the Wakey Alarm app. Have you heard of that at all?
Negative.
It's an alarm app. It's like a social alarm app where you set an alarm and then somebody actually calls you, a stranger, complete stranger, calls you to wake you up.
That's kind of weird.
That is weird. And if no one's available to call you, they call them wakies. If no wakies are available to call you, then your regular alarm will go off.
Is this a paid service or just...
As far as I can see, it's free.
Are these just like... Is this like a call center calling you, or are these like...
No, it's like people.
Kinda...
It's like I would call you to wake you up. It's Wakey tries to pair you with a caller around your age, and they say of the opposite gender, turning your first earlier morning moments into some bizarre like sexual dating game. I don't know. I can't imagine it being very successful. Honestly, I mean, especially in the morning. People call me in the morning, I'm going to be very upset. I don't do well in the mornings, especially strangers. I'm not going to answer my phone. I just use a regular alarm. It's just strange to me.
Like, yeah.
I mean, could you imagine some random person calling you, waking you up? Hi, it's time to wake up.
Because, yeah,
no,
I don't like it.
No, thank you. But it's probably one of those apps that Facebook will buy.
I'm sure there's lonely enough people that would like it. Like,
hey, man, I'm lonely, but I'm still not going to let people call me that I don't know in the morning and wake me up.
Like,
oh my gosh.
Hello, Samantha.
Yes. Maybe
it's time to wake up.
Maybe we should do it and start doing that. Maybe we should record them, do them on the show. We should get on there and see who's waking up over in the UK right now, or actually they're going to sleep right now.
Yeah, where's John?
John, I don't know. He's off the map. He's still working for the government, so we can't talk to him.
Shh.
Yeah, we know how they are.
Quiet.
Irish. Stubborn. Mm-hmm. So I have another big, not a deal, but something that's going on with T-Mobile right now, and they're offering current customers I think a pretty phenomenal deal. If you can get people to come over to T-Mobile and refer them, then you, the customer that brought them over, will get 1 year of unlimited data for free.
What?
Yeah. It's because Verizon and Sprint are also working this pricing war where Verizon and Sprint just recently offered $60 monthly plans for, I don't know if it's unlimited or what, but for $60 a month, that's what they're trying to do. Sprint and Verizon are trying to attack T-Mobile with this. It is a $60 unlimited data plan I see here. And so if you go to Sprint or Verizon, you can get this $60 unlimited plan, or you can go to Sprint or go to T-Mobile, and get, I don't know what they're probably an $80 plan, 80 or 90. So this whole pricing wars, it's good. It's definitely good for the customers, but I'm still interested to see what's going to happen when they put a cap on the data because of the net neutrality. I don't know. They said the new unlimited pricing plan, along with, of course, the the Family Pack, are meant to kickstart Sprint's competitiveness in the market, but they're so far behind. I mean, I only know a few people that have Sprint. A majority of people that I know have Verizon.
Yeah, so, Sprint and T-Mobile, I don't know very many people using that anymore.
No. And T-Mobile, I mean, they, of course, launched the promotion to give customers that are getting away from Sprint unlimited data at no additional charge for a year. It'll also provide the promotion to any existing T-Mobile customers, referring new customers to the service. So it's not just referral. It's if you're a new customer, if you're abandoning Sprint or Verizon, if you have T-Mobile pay off your contract, they'll give you a year of free unlimited data.
Oh, wait, Verizon too?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh, man.
Well, actually, it doesn't look like Verizon is giving away a year. If you leave from Verizon, is that what you mean?
Yeah. If I ditch these guys.
Yep. If you go in from because Sprint and Verizon, it seems like they're both trying to go after T-Mobile, and that's kind of strange for two companies to team up and go against another one. So yeah, T-Mobile wild. Responded and said, "Hey, we'll just give you some free stuff. Why not?"
Everybody likes that.
Oh heck yeah! The only reason I've never gone with Verizon is because they don't have unlimited data.
They do not, and you know what they do? They shut your phone off if you don't pay your bill.
Oh, that day.
Terrible people.
Those terrible. Oh man, hate them. Yeah, you know, they're places like T-Mobile and Sprint and all of them. The day of your service, if you don't pay it, they'll turn it right off, and then charge you a reconnect fee and all kinds of different things. Maybe even give your phone number away. You know.
Yeah, no, they're actually not that bad. I just don't like the fact that I can't be lazy without them turning off my phone. They actually usually give you a good month of non-compliance.
That's good.
I'm a non-compliant kind of person.
We'll just say procrastinator. How's that?
That'll work. That sounds better.
So yeah, there you have it. If you want to go and get unlimited data for go to T-Mobile. Or I guess I can't recommend Sprint. I just can't do it. I've had Sprint, and everything you do with them, you have to sign a new contract. And the only reason I went with T-Mobile is because I have no contract with them. It's month to month, unlimited data. I don't want a contract. I love it. The service, not so great. You know, service areas, I do lose service on my phone a lot, but it has call over Wi-Fi, so I mean, it makes up for it.
Oh, that works. Yeah, who's got the best the biggest range? Is that Verizon?
I would have to say it's Verizon right now. Yeah.
So I figured. Yeah, I've only lost service once. On my way to Florida, I always lose it in Kentucky in this phone hell area of Kentucky.
They don't want you getting away.
For about an hour, you'd have no communication with the world, and you have no GPS. So
what do you do with yourself?
I don't know.
Talk to yourself?
I get scared.
Well, I bet. Oh, gosh. So, T-Mobile, there you go. Head over there. Ditch your Sprint and your AT&T and your Verizon. Go to T-Mobile. Tell them Justin sent you, actually. I can get some referrals. That'd be great.
Yeah, free data that's pretty nuts.
For a full year, I mean, that's a lot to give away. But, I mean, they don't have the range that Verizon does yet. They don't have as many cell towers and things, but that'll happen. They're getting more and more customers, therefore they're getting more and more money, and they'll have more cell towers. It's just how it goes. It is. But we'll see.
I'm surprised the cable companies aren't buying into things like cell phones.
Yeah, I mean, you got people like Amazon are doing it. You know, they got the Fire Phone, which I heard we talked about last week, is a really great phone. And you're linked right into Amazon's Prime network with everything, all your movies, TV, books, all of the media that Amazon has, which is a lot. You can get on your Amazon Fire Phone, and it's also partly Android, so you could, use other
That's
Android
the only
apps.
thing I don't like about it is that it's partly. Why not just do the whole thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they had an agreement or something with Google, and Google said, well, you have to leave our Android the way it is, but you can put a layer over top of it, kind of like Facebook.
Well, yeah,
did.
and they limit you. Certain apps don't work for it, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would have had to make an entirely new version of that fancy butterfly game we made.
Yeah,
just for the Kindle.
that's true. Yeah, I don't know how it works with that right now. I mean, they should either go, like you said, 100% Android or 100% Amazon Fire OS or something. But leaving it in the middle like that, you get some content from Amazon, but if you want some from Android, you can sometimes get it. So it's very confusing to people, you know. But I don't know. We'll see. Oh, Apple. Man, Apple's having a hard time right now with their photo leak. And no one's heard about this, which is going to be, if you live under a rock, there's been a celebrity photo breach, cell phone breach, whatever you want to call it. There's celebrity nude photos everywhere from these targeted attacks via Apple's iCloud. Now, Apple they've acknowledged that the security breach of users' accounts, of course, resulted in a number of these leaked photos, but the company denies it had anything to do with iCloud.
What?
Yeah, they say it didn't have anything to do with it. Apple's statement reproduced, I'll read that in just a minute. It says that iCloud servers were not compromised. Instead, celeb accounts were specifically targeted using what sounds like a combination of social engineering and brute force attacks, which...
I misunderstood what you said. I thought you said Apple had nothing to do with iCloud.
Oh.
You really confused me.
You're like, why would they just
pretty
give that
sure
up?
that's their service.
Everything with an I in it, I think, is Apple's now.
Yeah. Okay, now I get it. So
yeah,
they're saying, yeah, okay, I get it.
They say it's basically good news that since an exploit in iCloud or Find My iPhone would mean that everyone is vulnerable, and bad news if you're a celebrity, of course, unless you happen to have this two-factor verification. That's always a good thing to have on your cloud services. But so they're denying that it was a cloud, but I'll read you their statement. Apple says, and I quote, "None of the cases we have investigated have resulted from any breach in any of Apple's systems, including iCloud or Find My iPhone. We are continuing to work with law enforcement to help identify the criminals involved. We wanted to provide an update to our investigation into the theft of photos of certain celebrities. When we learned of the theft, we were outraged and immediately mobilized Apple's engineers to discover the source. Our customers' privacy and security are utmost important to us. After more than 40 hours of investigation, 40 hours, we have discovered that certain celebrity accounts were compromised by a very targeted attack on usernames, passwords, and security questions, a practice that has become all too common on the internet. None of the cases we have investigated has resulted from any breach in any of Apple's systems, including iCloud or Find My iPhone. We are continuing to work with the law enforcement to help identify the criminals involved." They said that in their first paragraph. To protect against this type of attack, we advise all users to always use a strong password and enable two-step verification.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, they want to say that to cover their own butt, but I could see that totally being the case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could just pick up anybody's phone these days, and probably if you had some hackery in your brain, you could probably figure out how to get their information, their passwords and stuff, which then, if they have an iPhone, of course, would get you into their cloud.
Yeah, and that's the thing about nowadays. Everything is linked together. I mean, not everything is in the cloud, but a majority of stuff is in the cloud. But your information is all linked. I mean, think about what we do is our Chrome. If you use Google Chrome, everywhere you go, you can have your bookmarks, you can have your passwords. Everything is there. So with that convenience also comes this security breach stuff. That's just how it goes. It's really unfortunate, but there's people out there that feel like it's their job to destroy people's lives, I guess. But, you know, there's been a lot of talk about the privacy breach and all that of the celebrities and things like that, and I understand that. But when you're storing your stuff in the cloud, you're basically acknowledging that your stuff is going to be out there for anyone to possibly get to. That's what the cloud is. I mean, it's just hanging out there for someone to look at. I mean, we've found stuff on the Google Cloud that we didn't mean to find, people's resumes and stuff, because they don't understand the security. And like they said here, the best thing to do is to enable the two-step verification. And if you don't know what that is, it's just when you go to a website, you put in your username and your password, and normally you just go right into your website. But two-step verification asks you for another password. It just makes it harder to get into your account, and therefore harder to hack as well. It is annoying. I don't turn on two-step verification for much. My financial stuff I do, banking and things like that. But I've also started using a program called LastPass. There's a lot of them out there like that. It's an extension you can put into Google Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer, and it stores your passwords in it, and they're encrypted. So you have to have your password to get into it, for one, and two, it's all encrypted. So, and wherever you go, as long as you install that LastPass extension, you can get all your passwords.
Huh.
It's a nice extension. It's really, really, really convenient. I set my mom up with it. It's free, 100% free, lastpass.com. And it also helps you generate passwords, secure passwords. Whenever you go to a website and you have to put in a username, it'll come up with an option, would you like me to create a password? And then it'll store that password in its database. So, you just have to be careful. And if you're taking nude photos, and that's totally up to you, don't store them in the cloud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't ever let that stuff get uploaded, ever. Turn off your internet, turn everything off, put your phone in airplane mode, and then take your pictures. Save them to a CD.
Yeah. Ultimately, I just don't even think having it, because a lot of people have it automatic, like Google will automatically back them up, and you can have it automatically go to Facebook.
Yeah, that's true.
And I realized that one day I was trying to take a profile picture of myself, which included a lot of takes that I'm not too proud of. And I realized they're all up on Facebook. They're not public, but they're still there. And
yeah.
They're hidden, but it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Well, there's malware out there, and there's this new Android malware that actually disguises itself as an antivirus app. So we've seen that in my job. I've seen that a lot on computers, PCs, right, where they're fake antivirus. Now they're doing it on phones. So you just have to know what is legit, and if you don't know, search it before you download it. Look it up, do some research. But a recommendation for Android, Lookout Security is a fantastic antivirus, anti-malware program, and it's free. You can get a premium version of it if you want, but that's a great one to use. That's what I have on my phone. It's not a resource hog, but it scans everything when you download it, tells you if it's okay. Great program. And it does scans every so often of your entire phone. But McAfee is one of the other ones that people talk about for phones, but I'm not going to recommend them because I don't like McAfee.
You guys have a beef?
Yeah, big beef.
Just like East Coast, West Coast stuff?
Kind of. The owner's kind of a murderous traitor type person, so I don't like it. John McAfee, he's crazy.
Like him and Suge Knight are best buds?
Yes. I can't say that, but maybe. Oh, Suge Knight, great. Now we're that show.
Yeah, he's in prison, isn't he?
Who knows?
I thought
sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't.
Got frequent flyer miles there, I guess.
Yeah. Oh gosh, hey, you remember Elon Musk, the genius? Do you remember him at all? He made the Tesla car.
Yes.
He is actually he's trying to push the Tesla's performance to a whole nother level using graphene. We've talked about graphene before. It's a very, 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 very tough, strong material. And apparently he's going to try and use that graphene on his Tesla motor car and see how much faster he can make it. And then, of course, if he can get it to work on that, there's going to be probably endless applications for graphene. I love that. I love when people do stuff like that and find something different. I mean, it's like with carbon fiber, people started figuring out, I can make a car out of carbon fiber, and it'll be lighter and faster. And now he's going to use graphene. It's going to be lighter than carbon fiber and stronger. which is kind of crazy. I mean, it's 200 times stronger than steel, but nearly transparent when it's laid out in a complete sheet. That's insane. And that's, just one of the type of compounds that are out there that have just been found. There's probably a billion more that we don't know about. So I'm glad he's working on that. But, I mean, it's going to be $100,000 car or more when he's done.
Oh, yeah. I'll
500
get one of those.
Yeah. I'll write him a check. It'll bounce, but I'll have the car for a day or two.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Definitely.
Yeah, let's run to a quick break here. I'm going to put on some Manic Star by Tabby Callahan from X Factor, and then when we come back, we can talk about your CRM that you're working on, and I can discuss some of the tech stuff I'm working on as well. So we'll be right back here on LiveSpeak Radio.
Hey everybody, this is John from LiveSpeak Radio. Radio advertising has always been one of the best mediums for businesses to reach their target audience, and with the success of internet radio, it's reached a whole new level. Internet radio is the most cost-effective way to reach a wider audience, and at LiveSpeak Radio, we have a global audience. That means that we can offer the ideal platform for your business to advertise. To advertise on LiveSpeak Radio, get in touch with us today through our website at livespeakradio.com or send us an email to marketing@livespeakradio.com.
If it's geeks you want, then it's geeks you got. You're listening to the Geeks of LiveSpeak, Justin Gilson, Alan Quant, and John Rainey. We won't keep you any longer. Back to the show.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to LiveSpeak Radio. The advertisement was from John, who is not here because he's working with the government like a spy. Undercover boss. And that was the music was by Tabby Callahan from X Factor. Yes, we do have permission to play his music. I wanted to say something real quick before we get to the your CRM. Is I read a story just briefly about General Motors are trying to offer they call it a connected car, an automated driving car by 2016. Everybody's working towards this. It seems like right now that self-driving cars, but this car is going to be hooked into Wi-Fi and all that stuff. It's just going to be like driving a big smartphone, and they're calling it hands-free driving.
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean, they have things like the radar cruise control that you set on somebody's car in front of you, and if they speed up, you speed up. If they slow down, you slow down. So I don't know. It may be possible, but how does it know it's a car in front of you? I mean, what if you lock onto a wall or something and it just stops? And you don't go anywhere. Who knows?
That's probably a good thing.
It might be. Yeah, could be. I have seen
through the wall.
That's true. I've seen a couple. They have the safety thing too. That's also radar based. That will brake for you if you're about to hit something. Problem with that is if you don't turn it off and you're going into like a parking garage and you go to park, if you within 5 feet of the wall or something, it stops your car and you can't park any closer to that. Until you turn the system off. So there are some little things in there that are, of course, going to cause problems, but let Elon Musk take care of it. He'll get a self-driving car in the next year made of graphene. So tell me, Mr. Alan Quant from thedigitalcraft.com, what are you working on right now? I've heard a little bit about it. I've looked on the Facebook page and things, and you've mentioned that it's a CRM. For what?
I'm going to completely hijack my own thing.
Oh, that's good.
I'm on our Facebook page. And have you noticed, I don't know if this is a Sunday update trial thing, but have you noticed the targeting and scheduling?
Targeting, scheduling? I haven't yet, no.
You can schedule posts on our Facebook pages now, our business pages.
Interesting.
And you can target it by gender, location, interests, age, location.
Where are you seeing that? Wow, I'm not seeing that at all.
It must be one of those Sunday things they slide in there.
Oh, man.
See the little target underneath when you go to make a post? See that?
Add
Isn't that
targeting.
Neat?
Gender, relationship status, educational status, interested in, age, location, language. Wow.
Then to the left of that's the scheduling.
Wow, I think that scheduling thing is... No, it hasn't been there. There's been something there before. I don't know what it was. I just never paid attention.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. I saw that. I thought that was worth noting.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that they finally got on the ball and made that possible because, we use things for social media like Hootsuite or Tweetcast or things like that. But like I was mentioning before the show is when it does send out a story or something, it puts a little bit.ly link in there and those don't show pictures. So you don't have an image on your posts and it just looks terrible.
Well, that and this targeting, with the way that Facebook does your feed and everything now has very little to do with the actual time a post was made, unless you have it set that way, which usually resets back to popular. I bet this helps with that. I mean, being able to actually pinpoint your audience, you're probably going to have better luck if you say this post is geared towards men 20 to 25.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You're probably going to get your post seen way better than without having this targeting, because it's just going to go out and have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but I think that's going to be a really nice tool.
Well, and see, they had that before, and they still do with the boost. You can boost a post now.
Right.
And it targets certain people. So I wonder,
but that's a paid thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a paid thing. But see, you're basically doing the same thing if you're targeting. So what I'm wondering is is Facebook going to limit that because it's free and say, well, you could reach more people if you pay for it?
Well, doesn't this turn into like a sponsored post if it's a boost?
If you boost it? I'm not sure. I guess I've never noticed if it turned in. I've only done it a few times. I don't know.
Interesting.
We need to find somebody that knows a lot about social media.
Yeah. All right. So anyways.
Yeah. So, back to ovens.
So we're on a CRM at work, and I can't really discuss the details of it. That would be...
First off, what is a CRM?
Not good. CRM.
Crumb. It's a crumb.
It's a crim. We call it the crim at work.
The crim.
No, it's a customer relations manager.
Oh, okay.
So basically, just a database, way to store your customers, your sales, your billing. Really, it can be as simple as just as your contacts on your phone. I mean, could be considered a CRM if you really wanted it to be.
Oh, okay.
But then it can go as in depth as to hold your, track your sales and things like that, budgets, things like that. Ours is going to be even more robust than that. But one of the things I've been working on is Google Maps API. After our last show, we talked about that. I think it was our last show, a couple shows ago, maybe. I brought up that I found that it was like Google/location or something like that.
Oh yeah, the tracking thing.
Yeah, that shows you where you've been tracked and everything, and it got my brain rolling on ways I could take advantage of the Maps API and GPS stuff on your phone, because this CRM is going to be a mobile thing for our salespeople to use while they're out on the road. So,
oh, okay, I
can track their positions. I can easily keep. Trying to think of which idea I want to talk about. The sales reps are assigned zip codes here in the city, so that they're not fighting over territory. So I can easily pull up a map that draws borders around all the zip codes that are there, things like that, and I could also alert them if I really wanted to, if they're in an area or at a business that's not in their. Oh. Just silly things like that. But I mean, these are nice tools, and you could even go as far as use it to let the sales managers track where your sales reps are going, because they're out on the road all day, and they're getting paid for gas and mileage and everything. So, when Johnny sales rep says, "Oh yeah, I went out to this place, and it took this much gas," but then you look at his tracking, and he went home for an hour,
sitting at home all day.
Yeah. Right, or he went to his meeting, but then he drove across town to go home and sit for an hour, and he's trying to bill you for that gas. The sky's kind of the limit with stuff like that. It's kind of fun. I was just telling somebody the other day that, it's really if you come up with an idea, it can probably be done.
Yeah.
This is kind of a neat world of technology we have these days.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, when you showed me the location, which, and for those that don't know, it's you can go google.com/location history, and it'll show everywhere you've gone. I mean, if you have your phone, your mobile phone, with you when you go places, and it's synced, I'm assuming you have to be synced to Google, to Gmail, to something, some kind of tracking, but it'll show you where you go and everything like that. So I could imagine you could tap into that and do a ton of different stuff. And like you said, the people that have to report their gas mileage, they don't have to really keep track of it anymore. It's more like, well, look at the system. That's where I was. Pay me for mine. See, when I had to track my mileage for the school district, and it was a pain because everywhere I'd go, I'd have to write, okay, well, I just went 2 miles. And then I'd have to write, oh, that was only 0.7 miles. And it gets really hard to track every single day, every trip, nonstop. So it's kind of nice to be able to just say, yeah, look at where I've been, because it just tracks my phone or any, a device like a phone, like a smartwatch or something like that. I'm sure you could do that. You could have it set up to where people could use the smartwatches or something, as long as they have a GPS. You could track it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, honestly, it didn't even dawn on me to set that up for the reps to actually track their mileage. I was thinking more in an administrative viewpoint of making sure that
both ways
the reps were actually doing it. Yeah, you could totally just set it up so that they don't, because that's another thing that's probably a pain. And I know I've already done, our main office is 45, 50 minutes away. And so whenever we go there, and if any of us have to go there, we can, track our mileage and get reimbursed. But whatever.
It'd just be easier to turn on an app in the morning.
Right, and I don't ever really remember to do it, so
right.
I'm losing out on money that I could have if I could just easily.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of people that are like that. I know when I worked at the school district, some people said, it's not really worth it. Well, it's an extra, it's gas money, or it's change your oil money or something, because it's wear and tear on your car and it's mileage on your body. I mean, no matter how little, it can be tracked, and they can get extra pay for that. So that's pretty cool.
So fun little things like that.
I think that's a cool project because, like you said, the sky's the limit. You can just kind of keep going and going and going, and as things change, you can update things. And
yeah, it's fun because most companies will pay for a third-party CRM service like Salesforce and things like that.
Yeah, and they're real robust.
And they are, and they have the ability to do a lot of neat stuff, but you have to hire somebody that, firsthand, weren't you guys using that at one of your jobs?
Oh yeah, I had to try and learn that.
Right, so somebody actually has to be well versed in Salesforce itself to really customize that for a company. So when you're doing an internal project like this where we're not using anybody else's stuff, it's kind of fun because we can totally mold this thing to exactly what we want without any limitations.
Wow, so, yeah, that's a good project. That does sound like a fun project there. See, most of the projects that I work in with the tech stuff, they come to an end. You can only do so much, and then it stops. It's very rare that I get a project that I can, like that, where I can continually build on what I'm working on in the tech world.
Yeah, it's so cool because it's an ongoing thing where, it won't ever really be done, and not in a bad way. It's just something that can always be, stuff added to and changed, and definitely good for job stability.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That's why I like technology. That's why I work in computers, because I know they're going to always be there.
But it's one of these projects that some of my day-to-day duties, I'm sure you can relate, are whatever. Yeah. Not the most exciting things in the world, but
they got to get done.
But they do have to get done, and that's what you do there. But I come home and I could spend 2-3 hours a night sometimes working on this project, and it has nothing to do with it needing to be done at some urgent speed. I just enjoy what I'm doing, and it's exciting to me to add these features. I'll be dorking around with something with the geolocating at work around, right before 5, and then be so excited about it I want to keep working on it when I get home.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It's good for the business, I guess.
Yes, very much. And overall, you can export reports probably, and different things for, like you said, the mileage, and you can see how many sales were successful in this area, how many conversions were good over here. Man, I'm impressed. It's going to be a huge deal for you when you get it. I can't say finished, but when it's to the working
released.
point. Yeah,
released. Yeah. So yeah,
that's good.
I think that's about as much as I can talk about it without being
fired? Silenced. Yeah, we don't want you getting fired. Silenced? I don't know. I'll let people decide on that one. No, that's good. I'm glad you have a project like that. I'm working on a few things, but they're not as fun for most people. I built a complete new computer for somebody probably 3 weeks ago. I asked them what they wanted. They didn't know. I told them, do you want it to be current? Do you want, Windows XP? And they said they don't know. So I had to basically say, all right, well, I'll give you Windows 7, get this, buy this hardware. And I get it all put together. It's working great. Send it off to the guy. And then he brings it back to me and says, hey, I need this software installed on here. And I'm like, well, that's easy. Okay. And it's called CoCut Professional. And it is old. I mean, really old.
Sounds old. I don't know why, but it sounds old.
Yeah. And it's got this big notebook, one CD in there with a program on it, and a big notebook where you write down your license code and all this stuff, and it comes with a security dongle, USB dongle.
A what?
A USB dongle.
What's that second word again?
The dongle. Dongle. I just had to. Yeah, that's one of my favorite words. But that was the pain in the butt. I got the software finally installed on now this is Windows 7, and the software, I don't know how old it is, but it only worked up till like Windows XP. But I managed to get it working by doing some registry hacks and different things like that. And then I try to open the program and it says security key not valid. It's that stupid dongle. Stupid dongle.
And it's a pain in your butt?
It's a pain in my dongle.
I'm getting childish. I can quit.
It's a pain, man. I mean, I finally figured out that I could get different software for it and get it working. And finally I did. All of it. It's one of those feelings where you're like, wow, that actually worked. So I finished it, and he has this 20-year-old software on a brand new Windows 7 machine. It was definitely a labor-intensive, brain-intensive project for me. I've never had to hack so much just to get a software program running. And the reason he needed it so bad is he's a printer, and he does T-shirts and all kinds of stuff, and he has to use a plotter that he owns, and it's an old plotter. Because if you buy a plotter, a printing plotter, I think his is a pen plotter, it's expensive. You know? You can't just go and buy another one because you have Windows 7. Yeah. So I was working this weekend and I was thinking, man, maybe I'm going to have to downgrade his computer to XP. And I have another hard drive. I thought I'll throw another hard drive in there, put XP on it, see if it works. But before I could do that, I got the software working. So that's fantastic.
Awesome.
And then I had another one. I'm somebody's laptop, just cleaning it up, and they don't want the Windows 8 stuff to happen, basically. So I've been customizing that, and in return for doing that, I'm getting a free round of golf at a private club. So there are some.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I played at this club once when I was in high school for golf, but I haven't been there since. So good trade-offs. But I tell you, sometimes, I work all day on computers. I don't feel like coming home and working on them sometimes. Especially if I've been very intensive, when you're thinking all day and you're researching and you're reading and trying to problem solve nonstop all day. Your brain is just like mush when you get off work.
Yeah, I got to be really excited about what I'm doing to come home and want to work. If it's one of those menial tasks at work that have to be done while I'm at home, then I have absolutely no ambition to do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's difficult.
And my own stuff. Getting home and working on videos and stuff can be kind of rough when you've just been staring at a computer for 8 hours straight. Yeah,
it really is. I mean, I can't count the times that I've heard people say, "Why are you so tired? You sit at a computer all day." It's really brain intensive. I mean, it is. And people that work on computers blink about 50% less than normal people do during the day. So your eyes get dried out, they get worn down, and you get home and it's like, okay, I don't want to work on a computer, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, I have a low blink count. A low blink count. Yeah. I can't say that. I can't either, apparently.
What did I hear the other day? It was a video, I think this was like a BuzzFeed thing, like 5 ways to wake yourself up. Apparently, it has something to do with the way our eyes work when we're looking at monitors and stuff. It said every 20 minutes, stare at something that's like 15 feet or more away.
Oh, yeah.
For like 20 seconds, something like that. And it lets your eyes do what it needs to do to relax and stop being, because when you're staring at a screen, they are not changing. They are in the exact spot the entire time.
Right. There's no depth.
Destroying. Yeah, you're just killing yourself. And they said simple tricks like that. Another neat one I learned was with have you heard of a coffee nap or something? I think that's what it's called. Coffee nap. It's like a power nap mixed with coffee.
Never heard of it.
Sounds a little counterproductive. But there's hold lost my train of thought. You take
sleep.
You drink your coffee like really fast, which it needs to be
ice cold, hopefully.
Right. So you drink a cup of coffee really quickly and then take your nap immediately, because it takes a good 15 to 20 minutes for the caffeine to take effect. So you get your quick power nap, but you also wake up
jacked, full of caffeine.
Right.
Interesting. So would it work if I just shotgun a Red Bull before I went to sleep?
Not sure. Yeah. I don't know if that gets through your system any quicker or slower than coffee, but
I guess it depends on how you put it in your body.
I would like to see you try.
Okay, I will do that. And
I like it. Just bong it.
Just beer bong it.
Yeah,
all right.
Beer bong it.
Somebody build me a beer bong.
Mm-hmm. I might actually try one at work, because I do get
a beer bong.
I do have the no. Well,
you have a beer bong at work. That's awesome.
I do have the tendency to fall asleep at my desk a lot, but luckily for anybody but me, I snore, so I get caught immediately.
And that's why I don't fall asleep anywhere.
Yeah, I don't get a good nap. I thought it was funny. The first time my coworkers and I all went out, since I'd been working there, we went out on a Friday evening, and I had been talking to them about how, I was just really struggling towards the end of the day today. I was kind of nodding off in my chair waiting on something to finish. And they're like, oh, we know. And they pulled out their smartphones, and sure enough.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, dude. And it's not like I had kind of hunched over or just kind of had my head on the desk. I had actually taken my shoes off, propped my feet up, and I was leaning back in my chair sleeping.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't remember doing that. I don't remember getting that comfortable, but there was no hiding the fact that was my goal. I was trying to sleep. It wasn't an accident.
No, that was premeditated for sure. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh. I can't fall asleep in public because, one, I snore really loud, and two, I'm paranoid for that. People are going to film me, or they're going to mess with me, or anything really. I can't fall asleep in public, and I can't fall asleep sitting up unless I'm beyond wrecked, tired.
We have a guy there, I won't mention names, but he has
rhymes with Bob.
Right. He has, it's almost something I have to show, or not. I don't know if I can describe it, but he has got this perfect system where he can fall asleep, and it totally looks like he's working or thinking about something. It's kind of the thinking man's pose, where he's got his hand on his head, and it's just enough to cover his eye so that you can't tell he's asleep. And he just, he could go a whole hour just sleeping like that. It blows my mind. Wow. Yeah, when my daughter was here from Florida, I brought her in to meet everybody at my office towards the end of the day and go by his cubicle, and I realized, oh no, he's sleeping. And she didn't know that, so she's like, hi. And he turned, and it looked like hell. His eyes were bloodshot, and what's going on? Scared my kid to death. She's like, can we keep moving? He must have been out for a while.
Yeah, it must be like time travel for him.
Yeah, must be.
Pass out and wake up. Whoa, it's the end of the day? Awesome. I wish I could do that. That'd be fantastic. I don't have my own office, though. I share my office with my boss. So there's no chance.
At least you have an office, though. That's cool.
But
we're in cubicles.
Yeah, that's true. My back is to my boss, so if I can pull that move and somehow dampen the snoring a lot, I may be able to get away with it.
You might.
It's worth a shot, I guess. We'll see. I'll try it. I'll try it tomorrow, and I'll let you know. If I come home with no job, I'm blaming you.
Yeah, hey, I might not have one either. I just gave out company secrets and either no job or some grumpy coworkers for giving out their secrets of sleep.
Oh gosh. Well, we're at an hour. I want to thank IndianaTalks.com for having us, and iHeartRadio, of course, Spreaker.com. Make sure and follow us on Facebook.com/LiveSpeak Radio. And Twitter.com/LiveSpeak Radio as well. You can head over to thedigitalcraft.com if you want some tutoring from Sir Alan himself. And if you have any computer questions or anything at all, feel free to send us a message on our Facebook page. that does it for us here at LiveSpeak Radio, where we do it live.
Thank you for listening to LiveSpeak Radio with hosts Justin Gilson and Alan Quant. Tune in next week to hear more amazing tech news, gadget reviews, and interviews. Don't be afraid to release your inner geek. Listen to LiveSpeak.